see. Let me just. Okay. So you guys should be able to see my screen. Can anyone not see my screen?
I see it.
You can see it.
Okay, cool. So I guess with that being said, maybe we should get started. I'm just going to ask you guys if you don't mind just muting yourselves until you have something you want to say out loud, just so we don't get that feedback in the background. Just make it a little bit easier. And then we will. It's the bottom left-hand corner of the Zoom. You'll see a little button for mute. Cool.
Now I have Cindy and Jane, our customer service department, joining us.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, so Duke, why don't you go ahead and mute, and then we'll get started.
Okay.
I'm gonna just hit record. Okay, cool. Well, welcome everyone to your sales training on NuOrder. My name is Rachel. I'm your account manager here. So I'm here to support you guys, with any questions that you have within NuOrder. I do want to mention that my background is actually in apparel production. I like to say that just so you guys know, like I feel your side. I've been there, so I do have some background in sourcing and production. So just to give you like a little bit of background on what NuOrder is, it's your B2B e-commerce tool that allows you to sell your wholesale merchandise to your customers in a really easy to navigate way. There's also some tools on here which we'll cover to help you find new customers and for other customers to actually find new brands such as Aratta. So we've landed here on your login page. You'll type in nuorder.com/Aratta to navigate here. You'll enter your username and your password. If you forget your password, there is a link below to reset that password. And then without further ado, we'll just log in. Okay, so you'll see a splash page will come up. I just click anywhere on the screen to make that splash page go away. Actually, this reminds me, Duke, you and I just need to quickly touch base. We just released a new feature, literally in between our trainings, around your homepage, which unfortunately I didn't have a chance to set up for you guys. But I do want to just quickly turn that dashboard on for you, so that way Duke and your team, you guys can set this up. It's really cool. So in the past, we would actually open up to a gallery where you would see all of your items, but we've just improved the experience for everyone logging into NuOrder to basically be able to customize this really creative landing space. You'll see right here, this is just, I don't know, maybe I'm not allowed to say Google, but I say it anyways. It's like a Google search for your NuOrder. You can come in here and just straight up search within your products, and it'll pull up the search results here within your gallery. And then Duke, you and I will kind of talk through how to edit this homepage. But what you guys can do, or what Duke can do as an administrative user, is we can add different graphics and images as well as videos that link that can link to different parts of your portal. So, in the great example that you guys have on your splash page, I know you have an ad indicating that you have a trade show coming up. We can actually manipulate and add a nice image to your landing page, so you can advertise that right when the customer lands on NuOrder. And Duke, you and I will take this offline to build this out, but I just wanted to point this out that this is just something completely brand new that we've just added, just really to improve that user experience and guide them within the portal. You'll see up below that there's the latest line sheets will also show up in that landing page. So it'll be a nice quick way of navigating into those line sheets that you guys have. So more to come here, but this is where you guys will ultimately land when logging into NuOrder. So just to take you through, on your left-hand side, this is how you're going to navigate through the site, through all these different menu items. And I'm just going to walk you guys through, on the training, we'll walk through kind of how to find items on the portal, and then how to write an order, which at the end of the day, like this is what we want, right? Like we want to write our orders. It's going to be super easy to write up those orders. And then I'm also going to show you guys, you know, how we can maximize line sheets and custom lists and what those mean. And then we'll also be kind of talking about some of the other additional tools that we have on NuOrder, you know, just as more resources. So without further ado, you'll see that I navigated into products. And here's where every single product that's live and loaded into NuOrder is going to show up. And you'll see as you scroll down, it's going to continue to load. So if I want to find an item, what I'll do is I'll come over to my filters and I'll just drill down to what it is that I'm looking for. So maybe let's see, maybe I want to find a coat. I don't know. Spice it up. Ooh, that looks really warm. So maybe I'll drill down to coats, and then I'll be like, you know what, I'm looking for a copper coat, and I'll refine the search even more. Now, one thing to note is these filters and this search, the search tool itself, it's searching through all that product data that's associated to that product. So I'm just going to show you once we find that item that we're looking for. So let's say this, I don't know, this is what I am looking for. I'm going to click on it, and you'll see that there's a style card that comes out on the right-hand side where I can find more information about that style. So you'll have images that you guys can click through, and you can actually click on that image and zoom in and out on those images. Up to 4 images can be added per style, so you can get a really nice view of that product. And then as you scroll down, you'll find all the relevant information that you need to know about that style. So you'll see the delivery availability, you know, the sizing. You can add notes to the item, and then you'll see this is all of the product information. And just to really like break it down for you guys, all of this is searchable. So if I was like, if I already knew, like let's clear my filters here. If I already knew that I wanted to find a particular style number, I could either navigate here, or from the home page, I could just be like, you know what, I need this item, boom. It's gonna just search and drill down to that item, which should show up in a second. Okay, so, all right, so that's how we can find an item within Browse All Products. I wanna also just show you guys line sheets and how that is also a tool for you guys to find items. Within line sheets, you'll see, awesome, you guys loaded a bunch of line sheets, looking good. Line sheets are your global product catalogs, and they're your digital product catalogs, but they're available at the global level. So when buyers log in, they're going to see these line sheets as well, in addition to you guys. So it's just, you know, another tool to help you navigate, you know, these like topic driven, you know, seasonal line sheets, and just help you navigate to what you're looking for. So let's say in the example, I knew that I wanted to show holiday one, you know, drop one to a client. I can actually just go into that line sheet and I can browse the products that are applicable, to that topic. And in the same way that we drill down in that filter, we can also filter down within the line sheet. So, just multiple ways to kind of get to that final destination of what you're looking for. I like to say that there's multiple roads that end up leading to the same destination on NuOrder. You'll find that the ways that you navigate the portal are all pretty much the same. It's just different starting points. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're going to add these items to your order and you're going to process that order, right? So let's take a step back and go back to products. And why don't we just mock up an order together? Let's say, this is where it gets creative. What do I want to buy today? Why don't let's see what it has. Okay, all right. Got a lot of outerwear styles. Maybe that's too many styles. Let's go back to it.
Excuse me, Rachel, would you mind doing an immediate order? This is Shayna.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. So we'll navigate to our. Oh, it looks like we don't have the inventory loaded just yet. Maybe Duke can speak more to how it looks like you didn't load inventory yet. Yeah, I don't think the inventory has been loaded quite yet, but if we did have inventory loaded, I know your integration isn't quite live yet, we would filter to ATS under availability. Sorry, I should have pointed that out earlier, but here's where you would navigate down to what's available. And you'll see in the line sheets that we have that same tool. So we can work within a line sheet and we can drill down to what's actually available from within that line sheet. Okay. So in the case that, you guys did have inventory loaded, we would, drill down to ATS, and then we would drill down further and refine that search to what we wanted to purchase. Let's see what's under accessories. I'm trying to find a smaller group of items, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here's 4 blouses, right? So there's a couple ways of creating an order within NuOrder. The absolute fastest way of adding an item is just by hitting the shopping cart icon, and you'll see that it just placed that item in the shopping cart. Further to that, I want to just point out that there's a couple of options when you're building an order. You can just add items that don't, and you don't add sizing. You can add sizing as you're working through that working order, or you can predetermine those quantities and add them to your order, including sizing. So we just added this item without sizing. So in order to, complete that order with sizing, we would add it in that working order, and I'll show you that afterwards. But in the case that, maybe you like to add, quantities in advance so you don't have to do it later, I'm actually going to click the shopping cart, and you'll see that it just removed it from the cart. And I'm going to actually just click the item, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add my sizing here. And then I'm going to add to order. So now we've just sized the item, and that way we don't have to do it later when we're processing that order. Okay. Now the other option that you have is maybe you want to select multiple items and add them to your cart at once, right? You're like, yep, I want all those blouses. I'm going to actually come up to the checkbox. I'm going to select all. Yep, I want everything in here. I'm going to come over to actions, and I'm going to add it to my order. And you'll see that we've now added 5 items to our order. Because I actually duplicated that. So in order to process through that order, all we have to do is just come up to our shopping cart and click on it. We will select the company, which I am your only company that exists. And it's going to calculate the order total. So if you have special discounts that apply to different customers, that's what it's doing, and that's what it's thinking about, is if there's special discounts. I'm going to select a sales rep. You'll see anything in teal is required. So I'm buying it for my test store, and I'm the buyer, and I'm also the sales rep. I have triple duty. You can also copy anyone you want on the order. So you can CC someone by adding their email here. And then if you guys end up setting up order types or order tags, this is where you would select them. You don't have anything set up yet, but that is something we can always set up for you. The customer can also add in their own PO number up here if they'd like, or you can do it for them. And then you can add PO notes as well. So a couple of options just while we're on this screen. You'll see that, you know, in order to continue and process that order, we would hit next. That's the next step. But what if we wanted to go back and add more items? That's fine too. We can actually click this and continue shopping. And then continue adding items to that working order. So it'll stay within your cart until you clear your cart or you submit the order. We can also save it as a draft and send a copy of the drafted order to yourself, you know, as a rep, or you can send it to your buyer or both. And then the other cool thing about NuOrder is we do have these really handy Excel capabilities. So I know, like, I come from a retail background, like I lived and breathed Microsoft Excel. There's buyers that are still, you know, unfortunately stuck in Excel. We can actually export an Excel file of that working order, send it to the buyer and be like, hey, you know what, you guys add your order quantities. And then they can send back that Excel file to you with their quantities entered. And you can come into the working order and actually import that Excel file. So it'll just build that order for you. Really handy for those Excel people. Just note that you probably want to toggle this on to ignore products without quantity, so that way you don't have to go in and delete it once it gets built in the working order. Just take note of you know, some of these formatting requirements as well. And then there would be a button to submit it there, but obviously we're not doing that right now. I'm going to touch on what easy order is later in the training. And then we can also pull in an allocation summary, but actually we haven't sized yet, so let's hold that. So the next step is items and deliveries, and you'll see it just, you know, you can either hit next or you can hit items and deliveries, no problem. So here's where you're gonna complete that order, and you're gonna size and determine your deliveries for everything. So right now you'll see, you know, it's showing all products in this view. But what's really cool is on the left-hand side, we actually have a way that you can break up that order into kind of more manageable chunks. So if you want to, maybe you just want to see the items that the customer wants for July, I can just hit this this tab, and it's going to show us those items falling in that delivery, and the same for August. It's just another, it's not doing anything crazy to the order, it's just another way of viewing it. You can also group them by department, so maybe you're placing an order across, you know, multiple departments or categories, or perhaps seasons, and you'll see, okay, now it's broken up by fall 1 and fall 2. So just another kind of tool to help you guys manage those orders as you're placing them. So you'll see I'm keeping it on all products. You'll see we haven't set quantities against some of these styles. If we scroll down, here's the item that we had already pre-selected our quantities for. They've already been entered. But to complete this, let's just add some more quantities. Hopefully your customer is placing more than 2 pieces for a style like me. Okay, so we've now sized everything. Some other options that you have within the working order are you can remove the product. You can select a different delivery if that was available for the item. So you can, you know, shift out that delivery. You can add notes. And then let's see what else. We can also apply size scales to other products that have, or I should say size ratios to other products that have the same size scale. So if we have, you know, maybe you know, obviously here we're placing all these different blouses. If these are set up to the same size ratio or size scale, I'm confusing my words, size scale. So if we had an X an XS to an XL, and we wanted to apply the same size ratio to the rest of the styles, we can actually apply to the similar size groups. So just a nice little handy tool if you guys are placing the same ratio against multiple styles. The other tool that I want to show you is really exciting. I actually just updated this. It's the grid view, that blue button that I just selected. And this gives you a nice like bird's eye view of your order, and it helps you navigate it a little bit easier as you're working through with a customer. So what you can do is you'll see here are all the items in our order, but what we can do is actually break down that order by these different tiers. So I can say like, you know what, I want to see how many dollars we're rolling by season and then by delivery. So it breaks it down and says, okay, you have, here are our totals for fall 1. Cool, here are the items that are falling into this July delivery. Okay. And then here's what's falling into fall 2. And by the way, you don't have to do a double. You can also just do a single tier as well. So it just really helps you guys get that nice overarching view of your order. And by the way, you can also edit your order within this view. So if I say, you know what, we actually have too many items in fall 1. I'm going to get rid of, I don't want as much flare. Delete my other flare here. So now I have 2 blouses in fall 1 and I have 2 in fall 2. You can also, you guys don't have multiple deliveries to choose from at this point. If you guys did have delivery options, there would be a little pencil icon here and you would be able to quickly revise to an alternative delivery. So this, to me, I think is probably one of the most helpful things within the working order, just because it's way more high level and it's visual and it's just really easy to navigate and make changes. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know I've covered a lot so far, but I just want to make sure everyone feels comfortable. Okay, cool. Okay. So then the final step, it seems pretty obvious, is to submit the order. So, oh yeah, see, gave me an error because I added this delivery twice. So I'm actually going to go ahead and remove this product. We don't really need it twice anyways. I'm going to submit it. Awesome. So we've submitted that order. And then all of your orders will live within your orders tab. So we navigate over to orders. And you'll see all of your historical information here. So there's a lot, I'm just going to briefly cover. There's a lot of really great tools within the orders tab, but I'm just going to show you guys kind of how to navigate your orders and how to move them through the different statuses. So if you guys had saved anything as a draft, you can pull up and filter down to your draft orders, which there's one draft here. If I wanted to go back to this draft and go to edit it, I would just come in to edit the order. And then, yes, I want to come in and edit it. Now you'll see a few other things here. We have easy order, which is just going to pull up anything we've sent as an easy order, which again, I will get into that after this. And then we have review and pending. And I just want to explain to you guys the difference between review, pending, and approved. So review and pending are not a final approved order. Review orders are buyer submitted orders. And pending orders are rep submitted orders. So what's actually quite nice about the review and pending is it allows you guys to still edit that order before you finally push it into approved and move it into your ERP. So if you need to make changes on an order, or if a buyer submits an order and it comes through as review, they still have the opportunity to make changes to the order before it actually gets approved by you and processed. So approved is that final stage that you have within the order, and once it's approved, then that's that's where it sort of gets sent off to your ERP, and you can't make any changes within NuOrder. So it'll get processed from there. So I want to just show you guys how you would navigate those different statuses within this orders tab. So let's say, okay, I don't think we have any review orders because I didn't submit anything as an actual buyer, but we do have some pending orders here that I submitted as a rep. So what I would do is I would come over to more actions, and you'll see all the options that you have here. You know, you can edit it, you can cancel it. Here's where you would move it to approved, which is the next and final status. I can also move it back to review and allow the buyer to go in and edit it if they want to. I can resend the order confirmation email. And then I can also download all these tools, you know, an Excel version, a line sheet PDF version, and an order PDF. There's also a really cool allocation summary that I can pull by, you know, whichever field, let's say by season. And it's going to pull up another nice high-level tool to view your dollars by season. So it's just another nice tool for you guys to reference. Okay, so let's say in the scenario, you know, you've checked all these orders. You know that everything that you have pending, you want to push through to approve because you've checked everything and you're good to go, right? We can actually mass select multiple orders, so you don't have to go through one by one. We can check one of them and then select all. So similar way of how we added multiple items to an order, same thing for your orders, right? And then we just come up to actions and we can move through and push through the status. We can also cancel it as well. Okay. So that's orders. We can also, just so you guys know, in terms of like viewing, we can move these columns around and we can add, you know, we can show up other columns or hide columns by navigating here, as well as search within your orders. Okay. So that's orders, really important, obviously. I do want to cover, I want to kind of circle back to line sheets and custom lists and how those play into campaigns. So, you know, awesome, we know how to write an order, we know how to find our products, but how do we actually get buyers to engage and shop on NuOrder? So what we're going to do is we're going to look, I'm going to show you guys, I mean, I've already showed you guys where your line sheets live, right? And that's awesome. Like you guys, you know, you'll have your line sheets at the ready. But what if you have, you know, certain recommendations that you want to make? Maybe you want to make kind of your own line sheet, right? Well, you guys can make that by building custom lists. So I'm going to show you guys two ways to build a custom list. The first way is going to be from starting at your browse all products. And I'm going to navigate and drill down to what it is that I'm looking for. I'm so lame. I just keep choosing the same thing. I'm very not exciting. So I'm going to choose my blouses again. And I'm going to say, you know what? I have this like, you know, this boutique buyer. I know she needs more blouses, and I'm going to show her, you know, all these blouses that I have available. So in the same sort of way that we quickly added something to the cart, we can also quickly add something to a custom list by hitting that star button. So I hit the star and I can add it to a list that I've already created, or I can create a new custom list and say, you know, new blouse styles, submit. This is a shortcut to pop into that list. But you know what? I'm not done actually adding styles. So I'm going to check. I'm going to select all. I'm going to come over to actions and I'm going to add to list. So that's how we can bulk select items. And you know what? I'm going to add it to my blouses. Okay, so now here I can quickly use that link to open up to my line sheet, or I can just navigate to custom lists. And then you'll see all of my line sheets that I've created in my custom list. So I'm going to click into new blouse styles, and you'll see our products are here, right? So what's really cool about the custom list is you're essentially creating your own line sheet. You have the same tools that you would have that since you guys can't actually create the global line sheets, you actually have those same tools to use on your custom list. So I'm going to show you some options you have once you're in here. You can add a description. You can delete an item, like maybe we'll delete that one. And then if we realize we forgot some items on our list that we want to recommend, we come down to the plus sign. Every item is going to show up at the bottom as we continue to scroll. But that's going to take forever to find something, right? I'm going to actually utilize my filters. And you know what? I'm going to go back in and I'm going to be like, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind. I do want to add that blouse. I'm just going to drag and drop it here. And you'll see anything that has that highlighted teal means that it's already in that list. So you'll know that, if you're missing something, you can also, search for an item as well. Okay, so here's where it gets fun and creative. We can drag these little headers to separate our line sheet. So maybe I want to say, like, let's say there were pattern styles and solid styles. Maybe I would patterned. If I'm not, tell me I'm spelling that right. Oh my God. Okay, so maybe there are some solid styles on there. Let's pretend that there are. We can separate out and be like solid and pattern. You know what? That sounds stupid. I'm gonna just say patterns. I like that better. Okay. Okay. We can also add. Full page images to those line sheets, which is really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull an image. Oh, that's not the right thing. Hold on. Let's see. Nope, that's also not the right thing. Okay, all right. It's not helpful for us. This looks cool. That's very creative. I don't know if this actually is correct, but let's just pretend that this is something we can use, which we can't because it's not an image file. This is really not helpful. Nope. Shoot. All right, sorry guys. I thought I was gonna just have a really quick image to grab for you. That's not really helpful. Okay, let's grab it from your website. See if this will, I don't think this is gonna let me use it. Well, sorry guys, I was gonna try and quickly grab an image for you, but just so you guys get the idea, you would just drag right into this box, and then it'll appear when you print that PDF. So let me just double check. I just want to see if I had added one to here already. Let me see. Nope. Yeah, that feature actually just came out. So we're all really excited about that. Previously, we didn't have that capability of adding those image separators. But what's awesome about this is you guys can, I know I've already said it in my training, but essentially you're just creating your own digital line sheet. How awesome is that, right? And you can customize it as you see fit. So from here, we have a couple of options. We can download it by hitting download. You can download a PDF version. We have a bunch of different templates that you can select from. If you wanted, the less products that you put on your template, the larger the images are going to be. So I'm going to just go ahead and download it. It might look funky because I didn't add that image, but we can just really easily download that PDF. And here you go. Here's our separators and our images. Or here's where it gets really interesting. Or we can send this out to our customers. And by the way, this little form that we're going to fill out, it's the same form that's going to show up when we send a line sheet as well. So like I said earlier, it's all kind of the same. It's just different sort of origins that get you to the same destination, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to fill out the form together. I mentioned earlier, easy order. So what an easy order is it's an online order form that allows NuOrder customers to quickly receive an email. They'll click a link with the styles that are included on your order, and they can just literally click through what they want, add quantities, and submit the order without actually logging into NuOrder, which, everyone has that same, I want to remember a password, and I don't know, I lost it. Well, you know what? That's fine, because you guys can send them an easy order, and then they can submit their order that way. So one thing to note is there is an expiration date tied to that easy order. And what it is, it's the expiration on that link to open up that working order. And the reason behind that is because, one, you want to create a sense of urgency, right? You want people to open it up as soon as possible, but you also don't want them to open it up like a month down the line and then, oh wait, all those items are now sold out. That's disappointing. That's not a good experience, right? So just make sure that you're selecting a reasonable timeline for when you think they may open up that link. You can attach a PDF. You can attach an Excel, which we've learned now that that's in another alternative order form that can be sent back to you. And then we'll enter our NuOrder contacts. So in this case, I'm sending it to myself because I'm a loser and I'm the only person that exists in here. Oh, Duke, it's you and I, Duke. And then what I can do as an alternative, I can sit here all day long and I can add people, to send this to, or I can actually just pre-create contact groups that make it a little bit easier when I'm sending these out. And these live within campaigns. So if I go into contact groups, I can create a smart or a fixed group. So I'm going to come up here to create a group. A fixed group is basically like, hey, I want Sam and Joe and Paul in this group, and unless I go back in and I edit the group, they're just going to sit there as a team and nothing's going to happen. But what a smart group is it's smart, so it's basically gonna tie criteria to a group of buyers. So just to give you an example, if I'm like, you know what, I want to mass blast all my California buyers this group of products, I can come in, I can call it California, and then I can, you guys might not have states loaded, so it might not actually show up. But what I would do is I would select from this criteria the state of California, and that's going to automatically save in here. And so what that will do is every time you guys add new contacts with a California address tied to it, that contact will automatically be added to your California group if the requirement, is there. So, you can do the same thing with a zip or any other fields within that contact. So, just note that if you have sort of exclusions from that list, you probably don't want to utilize the smart group for that reason, because you can't exclude people. It includes everyone with that criteria set against it, if that makes sense. So I've now created, this doesn't really, let's call it all contacts. If we create a smart group without any filters set against it, it actually includes all contacts. So if you wanted to email every single person that you have as a contact, that's how you would create that smart group. And you can see that we just made that group there. So you can add as many people as you want to these messages. No one's going to see that they were copied on the same message as someone else, so there's privacy there. Now, just one more thing I do want to mention. If we toggle easy order off, we can CC other email addresses that aren't on NuOrder. So I want to make that really clear. Easy order an easy order can only be sent to contacts that are living as NuOrder contacts. But if you toggle easy order off, you can send these, the PDF and the Excel to people outside of NuOrder. And the reason behind that is that you're sending them basically a blank order form. But if they're not a contact set up, how would we know who they are to place that order? So we can toggle that off to send it to people outside of NuOrder. Then we would just really simply just add our email subject line, new items from Aratta, and any messaging that we want to include on the email. And then what we can do is title the campaign. So like, maybe we say new arrivals 7/26, so we remember what date. And then we just hit send. So we've sent out our list, and then what happens after this point is it now becomes a campaign. So every time you guys send a line sheet or a custom list out, it becomes a campaign that's trackable. And here's where I think you're gonna be really excited. So if we come into our campaigns, we can see all these messages that we've sent out to our customers and what actually happened after the fact. Okay, you know what? I just sent this out. This is the custom list we sent out just now. Some high level information. How many emails did it get sent and delivered to? 1. How many people opened the email? 0, because I haven't checked my email yet. How many people clicked on it? 0, obviously. But let's take a look at sort of a more successful campaign. The second one. So you can see that, surprise, surprise, it was me. I actually opened the email and I clicked on it, and you can see that that result there. This indicates that it was an easy order. Now, if I actually placed an order through that campaign, it would show up here with a dollar value, basically being like, hey, awesome, you guys got an order from that campaign, right? Now, here's where it really gets interesting. If we scroll down, we just clicked in, we can actually check out what happened with that message. So let's say, let's say in the better scenario that there's 5 or 6 other buyers that were included in this blast. They would show up beneath my email address here. And you can actually just tab through these headers to find more information. So I can be like, all right, let's see, how many people did I send it to? 1. Did anybody not open it? No. Awesome. That's great. No one didn't open the email. Who opened it? I did, obviously. Who clicked on it? I did. And then did anybody actually convert into an order? No. Well, you know what? That's interesting. Rachel, she clicked on it, but she didn't place an order. So that kind of indicates to me, you know what? I'm going to go back to Rachel, my buyer, and be like, hey girl, I sent you an email. You probably don't want to tell them that you saw that they clicked on it. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But I would say to them, hey, you know what? I sent you our new styles. Clearly I'm not a salesperson. Sent you our beautiful new styles. Did you check them out? I really want to share them with you. And then that'll kind of help you navigate what those next steps are. And as you continue to send these campaigns out, you'll really get a better sense of, how you're communicating from the platform. Maybe you sent too many styles in one sheet, and maybe it was too much to digest, or there might be other reasons behind why someone maybe didn't click through. So, as you get comfortable and you continue to work through it, you'll kind of gather more information there. Any questions around campaigns or line sheets or custom lists? I know it's a lot to take in, but okay, great. Guys,
So Rachel, question.
Yeah.
So whenever you do the delivery dates, like where it said August 1st to August 31st.
Uh-huh.
No, on the easy order.
It's on the easy order page.
Oh, when you're actually sending it?
Yeah.
It's gonna, it'll pull in whatever those delivery dates are applied to. Like whatever.
So say that there's more than one delivery date, will it like automatically go from like August 1st to October 30th, or do we need to do that ourselves?
I believe it's automatic, but I'd have to double check. Let me take note of that and test that out for you. It's a good question. No one's actually ever asked me that, so let me find out. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, cool. So we've gotten through a lot of it. We have about to a couple more tools that you have on here. One thing I do want to highlight is reporting. So we do have some really great reports that you guys have full access to. It would take me probably a whole another session to actually walk you through all the reports, but everything does, stupid calendar. Everything does have a nice description. So it's really self-explanatory, around reporting. It'll give a nice explanation, so you should be able to figure out what the report actually means. And what you'll do is you'll come through and you'll set parameters against that report. And then you can either run it on the screen or you can export it to Excel. So really simple and easy to use. You can also create custom reports, which I find to be really handy. You can create a new report just by like dragging and dropping your fields that you want to show up and then running it, or you can save it for future use. Okay. So again, this is going to pull in all the reporting based off of NuOrder data. I do want to highlight also, I didn't show you guys contacts. That's quite important. So your contacts are where your customers and your buyer contacts are going to live and be able to be viewed. So you can see I'm the only customer that's loaded right now. So we have our companies that we can search for. I've just clicked into this company, and if I toggle to buyers, you'll see the two buyers that exist for this company. We can quickly add new buyers here by filling out the required fields. And just to note, your companies will be syncing from your ERP. So the buyers would be who you'd be adding on the fly. So you would need to make sure that the companies are set up from your ERP. So you can quickly come into your company and be like, you know what, I just met this customer that works for this company, and then I'm going to add them in and attach them to a sales rep. Okay, and then marketplace is the last thing I do want to cover with you guys. This is really cool. We have this marketplace that allows you guys to actually browse other customers that are currently working with NuOrder and engage with them. So what you guys can do is come into the marketplace, go to new accounts, and you can drill down by category and geographic location and pull up those customers. So let's say I want to pull in like contemporary. I'm going to go to next, and maybe I'm searching for new customers in San Francisco. I'm going to drill down to San Francisco, and I'm going to review my result. And you'll see all the different retailers that exist with those classifications. So I can come in and be like, okay, let's check out Two Birds. What's up with them? This is their profile information that they provide to NuOrder. You can read about them, see where they're located, check out, here's the other brands on their floor. Would Aratta like sit in well with them? Okay, cool. And then I can just go ahead and I can prospect from there. Okay. So I think with that being said, that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to cover with you guys. The last thing I do want to just note is we do have an amazing support team here at NuOrder that can help answer, any questions that you have if you're having any trouble with orders or just kind of navigating on the site or running, stuck on something. I want to give you their contact information. So if you guys have a pen handy, it's just heroes@nuorder.com, HEROES at NuOrder.com. And their phone number, which for some reason I literally can't ever remember my phone number. Let me pull it up for you guys. The phone number to reach them is 310-954-1313. And then the last point of reference that you guys have, we have an amazing help desk. It contains videos and articles and webinars, and honestly, I utilize it. So I'm an employee of NuOrder, and I find a lot of information myself on it. So definitely check that out first. It's helpdesk.nuorder.com. And I would say probably 90% of the time you'll be able to get that question answered just by finding that article. So if you guys have any other questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll let you guys go. I guess that's a no. Yeah, so if you guys have any other questions that you want raised up, certainly you could reach out to Duke or Susan or myself. So is that a question or a goodbye?
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Bye.
No?
She said, bye if you don't have any questions.
Okay. We're done. Thanks.
Where's Julie staying?
Julie's still waiting.
Julie's in a meeting, so I called her office and I told them, the meeting's about over. Apparently, she didn't get included in the
Email?
email invite.
You only have one. Julie, you didn't email Julie for that?
I thought I did, yeah, I emailed to everybody, right?
No. We were not in the email, so we can't tell you to.
Okay, then I will, let me see, I sent it to, yeah, let's see, Mark, oh, maybe Julie's not in there. Oh, no. Yes, oops. Well, Susan gave me these addresses, so, all right, next time. Yeah, but she wasn't in here. Oh, well. Okay. This ready?
I sent yours. Julie wants to see you.